Hey, welcome to day 83 of my spiritual journal with me, with your soul sister, Iona. So it is Spiritual Freedom Saturday in my world for intentional living as spiritual business owners. So I talk about spiritual business success without doing busy work, without being broke, and without experiencing burnout. That is what I use my spiritual journal for. And I invite you to journal along with me. So as I was about to come live, I was like, my camera went off. And I thought, is my connection going to go off? But I see that someone's on with me. So say hi. And I'll talk about all things spirituality. So for intentional living. So today is Spiritual Freedom Saturday. Somebody was on live with me and jumped off. Unless it was an error. I don't know. But anyway, this is Spiritual Freedom Saturday. Talking about intentional living, and I invite you to journal with me. So I have my journal, my notebook. I call it the Soul Legacy Journal. If you are new to me, this is 365 days of your spiritual awakening story, and I call it a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. That's a lot of spirituality. So at the base of my spiritual business and the base of me doing the daily vlogs and inviting you to journal along with me is so that we can bring more spirituality into our lives as we do journal. So Jennifer, it doesn't say that you're on. Hey love, good morning. I apologize for being like a minute or so later. I was sitting here. I'm going to pull the cards as my as part of my spiritual daily routines and rituals. And I was sitting here, I was reading the cards, and I looked up. My phone had locked me out, so I had to kind of do this for the face recognition. I'm like, So thank you. I said good morning twice. So as part of our spiritual journal, as you know, Jennifer, if you don't have something to write with, or you just want to like make a mental note, then you can do that. So as part of my daily vlogs on the Soul Legacy TV YouTube podcast, I talk about each area of our life so we can have light work and lifestyle balance, and spirituality, spiritual freedom, the vision for that, for you, for me, for the universe, the planet, for our soul clients, our soul tribe, our soul family, all the things, really all areas of my life are led by my soul guidance. That spirituality. So it says, Jennifer says, you're good. Thank you, love. So it's led by spirituality. So if you are new to me, every single day on the Soul Legacy TV, I talk about intentional living. And for me, intentional living means living in alignment with your vision. So I have a spiritual vision board challenge. If you haven't gone through that, then I invite you to come through that with me, because this will make more sense. And I'll leave the information in the cards, in the comments, in the pinned comments, or in the description. So when we talk about spirituality, I'm talking about the freedom of your vision and the vibration of freedom on the emotional scale: freedom, love, joy, empowerment, knowledge, all the things. And then living in alignment with your value of freedom, but doing that with ease, grace, and flow, not forcing, not pushing, bringing spirituality into these 7 freedoms. So on Monday, I talk about contribution, freedom, the frequency of that, emitting the frequency. That's where the spiritual element comes in. Like, you want to do your light work, you want to do, you know, what you want to have, you want to contribute in the world with your work, whether it's in what I call a soul sucking day job that doesn't have to be soul sucking, or night job, whatever that is. But if you want to build your own spiritual business, that's that contribution. But you bring your soul purpose, what your soul feels called to do, into your work. On a Tuesday, we talk about health freedom, and the frequency of that. Again, following your soul guidance on what is good for you and what is good for your health. And if I've gone like off a little bit, it's because my daughter's just messaged me. She knows I'm on live. But I'm really grateful for that. So your health following that. So I'll talk about that a little bit more, because that's one of the points that I want to touch on today for my spiritual journal. For emotions, knowing that we are souls having a human experience and not getting so pushed and pulled and attached to our emotions, following our intuition and our guidance, that's bringing that spiritual element. Our environment, being guided wherever you live and whatever you're doing and whoever you're doing it with, we're guided. We have those signs and synchronicities that show up in our environment. Oh, and obviously our environment starts in here first. That's bringing that spiritual element, knowing that we manifest what is inside here, what we think and what we feel and what we believe, or that influences our manifestations anyway. Relationships, soul to soul connection, soul family, and spirituality, obviously spiritual freedom today, and the energy of money, financial freedom, bringing that. So I'll do the bank 50k in 50 days challenge at the end, because we do that vibrationally, bringing that spiritual energy into money. And we also want to do it in the visible world. So vibrational world and then visible world. So you'll see that I use my spiritual vision, spiritual journaling every single day to bring spiritual freedom into every area of my life. And so do you do that? What do you use your spiritual journal for? What have you been using it for? Are the 7 freedoms helping you to have that balance and that more of a detached perspective from your life, so that you can build it up the way that you really want to, with intention, living in alignment with your values? Yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. I've got notes. I'm going to give you a quote for today, usually in my spiritual journal, to support me in raising my vibration. I do all the things, right? So I set intentions, I rate my vibration. We'll do that in a second. Rating your vibrational frequency for how you feel. I'm going to give you the quote. I'm going to talk about gratitude. I'm going to pull a couple of cards, and I'm going to talk about the book that I listened to today. And then we're going to do the bank 50k in 50 days challenge. All right. That is what I do in my spiritual journal. And I just share my journey with you. And hopefully you'll share your journey with me, so that we can collectively come together with like minds. We don't have to do this alone. So if you're not subscribed to the SoulLegacyTV YouTube podcast, then subscribe, share this out, invite a fellow light worker in, click the like button, click the notification button so you get notified when I go live every single Saturday talking about spiritual freedom. I don't know anyone having a conversation on a weekly basis talking about your spiritual awakening journey, your spiritual ascension, and just spiritual alchemy. And so we want to have that conversation and invite more people in to journal and to be in alignment with making a massive difference in the world and building a spiritual business online, and getting out there more so. So I'm the producer of the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network. So if you have a book inside of you or a spiritual YouTube channel to share your work, then I invite you to do that more so. So I have a masterclass sharing with you how you can do that. So the quote for today is from Henry Ford, and it says, "Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eye off your goals." Obstacles are the frightful things you see when you take your eye off your goals. So for me, when I read this quote every single day, I start my day with it's called the Momentum app. So it gives you momentum. It's the idea behind it. So on my Mac laptop, I'll open it, and I've downloaded this browser. It's a free Chrome extension to go on your browser, and it gives you a lovely visual of a place in the world, which I love to travel. I love to experience the world. So it gives you a lovely place, gives you a place to put links to whatever you need to be working on in your spiritual business. And then it has this quote, and then it has your to-dos. That's the beautiful way that I just flow into my day. So I have the quote and I want to share it with you. So the obstacles are those frightful things that you see when you take your eyes off the goal. So for me, I don't have big boulders and big obstacles to overcome, because I am focused on my goal, because I am focused on my vision, because I am showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. So when something like, my internet or what have you, it went like that for the circle, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just wait. I'll just be patient. And I pulled a card. I pulled two cards came out today, and I was like, where is the book? And I put the book inside the box. And I was like, I couldn't find it. When something's right in front of your face, and I couldn't find it. And I was like, let me go have a look. I wrote down this quote. I came back downstairs, and I'm like, well, logically, it's got to be somewhere. Okay, what did I do like 5 minutes ago? And I'd put the box in, I put the card and the booklet inside the box. And it was like, I've got 2 cards and I don't know what they mean. Do you know what I mean? And then it's just like breathing and just not sit. Sometimes, do you ever do that when you think you can't see for looking? Do you know what I mean? You can't see for looking. But when you focus on your goal, which we do in the Spiritual Vision Board Challenge, and if you haven't signed up for the Spiritual Vision Board Challenge, I do it live on the Soul Legacy TV. There's a playlist and it says live Spiritual Vision Board Challenge. I've got to do it again in mid-July, but I do it annually, and I will do it live. So I do it live annually on the second week of December at 7:30 p.m. UK time, but I will be doing it in July. So if you mid-July, so if you want to, so Jennifer, if you want to come on the Spiritual Vision Board Challenge with me, then when we've done with a live, you can make a note. And because this spiritual journal with me follows on from my vision board challenge, and it'll make more sense to get clarity on your spiritual freedom. It'll make sense to get clarity on how you want to contribute in the world and how you want to receive your finances. So hopefully that will help. So focusing on your goal, keeping your eye on the prize, I like to say, means that whatever comes up, it's not an obstacle. So I shared yesterday and Thursday, I shared on Spiritual Relationship Freedom Friday and Environmental Freedom Thursday. I'm always sharing anyway about me being bankrupt and homeless and all the things. And I feel like somebody needs to hear that. And I share it on the masterclass as well. I share my spiritual awakening story. Those seemingly obstacles is just like, I know it's for me. It's partly for me to show me the way. When we raise our vibration and we look at the world through the lens of our soul, rather than being pushed and pulled by our humanness, we know that the experiences unfold, and it's a shedding of our old vibration. If you have a vision for the life that you really want to manifest and experience, it means that the life that you have now is not going to look and feel the same. And the universe will give you the way, give you the soul path of least resistance to manifest those. Even when you think it's not doing it for you, it does it in magical and mysterious ways. And it doesn't always do it in the easiest ways. It does it in the nudges, and it feels like chaos. It felt like chaos was unfolding for me, the obstacles, but I kept my eye on the vision of reaching you. So those things didn't matter. Jennifer says the cards picture can reveal clues. Yes, you can send me the link. Oh, so thank you. So the Spiritual Vision Board Challenge is on the Soul Legacy TV on the YouTube channel. So it's on a playlist. So you can go and you can click. So the way that I've set up my Vision Board Challenge and the way that I've set up my YouTube channel, I schedule it out so anyone 24/7 can get what they need. And so when you click the playlist, you'll see it on the videos themselves, on the YouTube videos, they're scheduled out, and it will say notify me. So you'll just get notified, and I go live like this live for 7 days on each of the 7 freedoms. And then in December, it has that as well. So I've actually scheduled, I'll always have 2 vision board challenges scheduled out. One, no, not scheduled out. One actually that's on the replay, and one that you can always go through annually with me. So it's a rhythm on the Soul Legacy TV, and the rhythm and the spiritual business for spiritual business success is to hold you accountable to go for the vision board challenge, which is 7 days, and then come and I help you implement it on a daily basis, talking about that 7 freedoms. So it'll make more sense. And if you're watching in the SoulLegacyAcademy.com, I have the 7 freedoms frequency monthly call, and that happens on the first Monday of the month, where I support my students through this whole process while they're building their spiritual business. I want you to have that light work and lifestyle balance, and that's this for me. So hopefully that makes sense. Robin says, good morning. We have Robin now of Energy Healing TV and podcast. Welcome, Robin. You put with Robin. I just realized, I was like looking at that and I'm like, okay, well, I say with Robin, but you put with Robin. Yes, that is the thing. It's a long It's a long name. However, when you put your name, then people know. So amazing. So Robin didn't have that. So Robin Nat is our lead soul guided instructor for the SoulLegacyAcademy.com, which I'm the founder of, and also for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, which I'm the producer of. So thank you, Robin. I really appreciate that. And I love seeing your name on there. It makes a difference, right? So I teach to build your spiritual business and to build your YouTube channel that's in alignment with that and align and automate your spiritual business. That's why I'm saying that the YouTube challenge, this is doing a Facebook challenge. I talk about this a lot as part of my contribution, which I was guided to move away from just doing a Facebook challenge to do a YouTube challenge. And I teach how to set it up and how to set up your channel. And there's just that little tweak by putting your name in. Sometimes people miss the things I teach. And it's like, no, put your name in so people can see it. So Robin was telling me a story of somebody, she went on a live on YouTube and somebody said, do I know you? Because it had Energy Healing TV podcast, but it didn't have Robin's name on. It has a picture, but it didn't have Robin's name on. So good for you, Robin. Morning, Robin. I think I'm notified for a lot. You're probably notified for a lot of mine. You probably clicked on so many. So if you so it's beautiful because these lives are then in my SoulLegacyAcademy.com, and so it's training. So this live is also for students, so it's my marketing, but it's also for students as well. So I've taken that material that I would then support the students and supporting you guys as well. Robin says I took your advice, lol. It does make a difference. Sometimes it's like, Iona, like you just make stuff up. Like, why would you, like when it's missed, it's like, no, there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. That's awesome, Jennifer. Yay. I know. Overload of Iona made. So let me pull these two cards for you. Guys, I love you. Thank you for being here with me live. So this is the first card I'm going to share with you. And this is for me as well as for you. All right. It's quite beautiful. And it's a card of hope, love, and acceptance. So again, as this spiritual journal with me, this is for me and this is for you. As I do my spiritual journal, I wanted to share the energy of it and the messages that I'm getting and just the guidance and see if it resonates with you, and for you to get the confirmations and for you to get the signs and the synchronicities. And if there's just one little thing that's tweaked in your mind today, just your energy shifted. Robin, can you do your rating, please, love? And Jennifer, can you do your rating so I don't forget to do that next? Because I'll go off on a tangent. Thank you, love. Yeah, so you know, if you just take something away and it just elevates your frequency just a little bit, then my work is done. So this card says, love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Choose loving thoughts. And so I'm going to tie this into my health freedom. And as I've been talking about this week, where my health freedom, like craving junk food. So Jennifer knows that she was on was it Monday? I think it was Monday when I ate at McDonald's and I said that my vibration had gone down. Or was it Tuesday? I don't know. Yeah, Monday. And then my health freedom vibration had gone down on the Tuesday. By making that decision on the Monday, it's influenced me all week into the Saturday. And I'm like, okay, insulin resistance, there's a thing. I'm guided to find a solution for that. So I'll share that more. If I don't share it, that's kind of the gist of it. And thinking loving thoughts, I'm not thinking as loving thoughts as I could regarding that, because now my stomach is extended and I'm just like, what? So I felt the cravings yesterday. Last night I went out for a walk and I felt intuitively like, I think that's ovulation. I don't know. I felt that, and I'm like, then I'm craving foods that I don't know, lower density foods. And because I've said absolutely no to that, it's coming up for me more to heal it and to see where the triggers are and the emotions. So I'm going to do some tapping around it. So I'm not choosing as loving thoughts. So this is definitely for me. And hopefully it's for you on whatever freedom. If you look back in this week, bringing that freedom in. I'm going to talk about it more of the book that I read today, but I just wanted to say that because, you know, not awful thoughts, but just not as loving thoughts, as in not beating myself up either, but just as in by doing that, by doing something, it has a knock-on effect. And by choosing that, like, that lowers my vibration. I'm not happy to do that, to fuel my body with those things and with those foods, because that's not the agreement that I've made with myself, if that makes sense. And so thank you for doing your rating. I'm going to pull those up in just a second. Thank you, love. So let me read this before I go off on many tangents. So Hope is an angel who is dedicated to promoting the idea that we on earth are loved, cherished, and supported by the kingdom of heaven. She is all about helping us to see the light beyond whatever darkness we are in, traveling as part of the Holy Trinity: faith, hope, and charity. She helps us recognize that hope isn't about wishing for something good to happen or help to arrive, but trusting that support is already present. With the spiritual vision board challenge, that is exactly the key. Like, it's not that just that projection in the future, it's bringing that into the now, and your now experience guiding you. So Hope is the twin flame of Archangel Gabriel. She has a gentle presence, but she is absolutely glorious. She sings sweet harmonies to us and these songs of our waves of love, washing away anything that stands between us and self-love and acceptance. I love that. And that's where I'm bringing that in, and more over the days, weeks that I come in, that's where that's for my goal, for my spiritual freedom, to have that level of love, freedom, knowledge, power, and acceptance. That's what I'm working on. And I didn't realize as deeply. And so my spiritual journal helps me to see, okay, what needs clearing. And obviously Robin will help us with the clearing energy of that. Extended message: angels are gathering around you in celebration that you are finally willing to see how loving and lovable you are. And so that's like, you know, as I said that, I thought, oh, gosh, there was a time that I would just like be crying with that. Like, and I don't know if that feels like that for you. I'm going to read it again, because not always do we know how loving we are when people tell us that we're wrong, or we're what have you, or to shut up and sit down when we talk too much. I know that you guys have experienced that. Or how lovable we are because people say certain things, you know what I mean, as we're growing up. So angels are gathering around you in celebration that you are finally willing to see how loving and lovable you are. Write that down in your spiritual journal. I am loving and lovable, because I have tough love, and I don't think and feel the way that everyone does around me. So it's like, oh, well, is that loving? Yeah, it's being loving to me. It's being loving enough to speak my truth, and but doing it in a loving way, and being loving to me by saying no to certain things. So Hope is here with a legion of love angels, guiding you to see that you deserve loving relationships, loving experiences, and loving acceptance from the world around you. Loving relationships. So it was a Relationship Freedom Friday. Just write that down as a prompt. Like, you deserve to have loving relationships and loving experiences and loving acceptance. I love it. Like, every single day on the Soul Legacy TV, we get the card that just what we need for the Spiritual Freedom Saturday as we do our spiritual journal. And the spirit, this is my spiritual journal prompt, right? I love it. It's beautiful. It seems that you are really moving beyond the limitations that you once had in this department. But know that whenever you do question your worth, you can call on Hope to shine her golden light upon you. There we go. All right. So when there's ever doubt, you can call on Hope. So write the card down. This is from The Keepers of the Light by Carl Gray. Your angels want you to know that they love and cherish you, and they're grateful that you're giving yourself the same support. So are you? I am. And I love that. And it's removing the triggers and the what for that, to clear and recognizing where I am. And one of the things that I want to say before I pull the next card is that when you go up on the vibrational scale, the emotional scale that we talk about on Emotional Freedom Wednesdays, is that sometimes life circumstances will come around for you, same circumstances, similar, a version, and it will check, life will check, the universe will check the version of you now. So say there's an experience and you're at this level here and you're vibing up, then the same experience comes up and you're a higher vibration, the experience is not the same. And that's how I feel about my health freedom. I feel like I've gone on such a journey that it's like, okay, I've said absolutely not to every single month, indulging in the things that I know that is adding to me putting on weight and stuff, and like hormonal, all the things. And I'm like, no, I've just released a stone over a year for me. And I don't want to go back down that spiral. So I want to go up. So whatever was in my daily habits and rituals and routines and my thought patterns and my feelings, that still needs clearing in order to come to the space of when the challenge comes back around or whatever circumstances comes back around, I'm a different version of me. I'm vibrating higher. And that's where I'm seeing the message for me. So whatever it means in whatever area, whichever freedom, that just might be a situation that's come back around for me. When I was ending my marriage, say, I was homeless, I was bankrupt, I was £160,000 in debt. I ended up leaving my home, dragged my kids in the homeless place. I talked about this yesterday. Then when I was in my soulmate relationship after 7 years, I helped him with his home. And he said, no, just only a few weeks ago, this is years ago, about 6 years ago that we split. And he said, you know, when he was in the next relationship, it's like it wasn't the same. And he said, I will always be grateful to you for that. So it was amicable and it was decent. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like that. So I up leveled the same. And then when I was in my twin flame union, and some people get to be in a relationship from teenager till the day they die. That wasn't my truth for me. So there's no judgment for me. It's like, there's been a few, right? So when I was in my twin flame union and I came to the end of that cycle, like I said yesterday, for relationship freedom, it bounced out. I was a version of me and it came round. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. I up leveled, if anything, even more faster. And that's not that relationship was the best relationship that I've ever had and the healthiest relationship that I've ever had. However, I was a different version of me. So I wasn't on the floor. I wasn't crumbling. I wasn't doing all the things. I was just vibrating, just oscillating at that frequency. So that's what I want to say. Like, that your journey, your spiritual journey and the evolution, you just evolve and grow. So I want to do the ring. It is a beautiful card. I've got another one as well. So 2 came out for us today. Yes, Jennifer, I've done these the wrong way around. Hang on, sorry. So Robin has done her ring. So thank you, Robin. So Spiritual Freedom Saturday, we do the rating, and the abbreviation is SFF. No, SFS. And Robin's done hers a 10 up from last week. So thank you, Robin. So, and I love that we tune and we track our vibrational frequency, really is what I say. And I use the acronym Cheers to Financial Freedom Frequency. And the acronym stands for, I call them the intentional living codes, because they're codes. This frequency, when you're up and you're down, that's your code to your own happiness, your own joy, your own freedom, your own love, your own empowerment. We all have a different vibration, no frequency. We're raising our vibration, but it's for what's for us, what we want to manifest, what we want to experience. So when your code goes up and down, so the idea is to go to raise your vibration from a 1 to an 11. And so what does an 11 look like in all areas? Do you ever get to an 11? I'm usually at an 11 and a 10. And when I dip, it's like, whoa, this contrast is something for me to address. So thank you, Robin, for sharing that. And the way that we do our frequency, we rate from a 1, like feeling in soul funk, an 11, feeling in soul flow, guided, like our daily rituals and routines, our thoughts, our feelings are in alignment with our soul calling. So Robin says a 10. It's up from last week. Thank you. Mine is an 11. Mine is the same as last week. So in terms of my spiritual freedom, so we have all of the freedoms, like I say, the Chase to Financial Freedom frequency, contribution freedom is the C, H is health freedom, E is emotional freedom, the other E is environmental freedom, the R is relationship freedom, the S is spiritual freedom, which is Saturday, and the F is financial freedom. So for me, my spiritual freedom throughout each area of my life has maintained the same. My other areas might have dipped, but that hasn't dipped, if that makes sense. So Robin, you said that yours was up from last week. And what I invite you to do in your Soul Legacy journal every single week or every single Saturday is journal and see what your vibrational frequency is. Then track back from last week and have a look, where were you vibrating at and what happened over this last week? Did you dip? Did you go up? Did you go down? If it's down, what has made it go down? Your vibrational frequency. If it went up, what made it go up? If it stayed the same, what were you doing? So I know that my health freedom, when that's going down, I know I'm not doing the same things as what it was when it was an 11. The world can look and feel whatever it does, but it's my relationship with me, my soul's intention. Doesn't matter what's going on in the world. It's how I react, how I do, how I feel. So that's amazing, Robin, that yours is up from last week. So Jennifer says, I'm at a 10, pushing, I'm at a 9, pushing 10, feeling so good today. LOL, broke the fast. Me, you broke your fast on, I broke my fast. So, yeah, when I broke the fast on the Monday, yeah. So I broke my fast. So my commitment is to fast on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I broke the fast on Monday, and trust me, when your daily rituals and routines, you just have a little bit of a snippet that takes over your brain. So I had, I believe I had insulin resistance, and so the craving of carbohydrates was real, and so your body just does all the things. Just have a look at insulin resistance, and my mom has diabetes and stuff, so I just being aware of managing that, and I'd forgotten the cycle of that. So when you start doing that with your body, it's not just lower vibrational foods, as I was talking about on the Monday in the health freedom. It's actually the physical reaction that my body has to carbohydrates and what it does. If you saw me now and I stood up, my stomach is extended like you would not believe, and I'm like gassy and all the things, and I know that, and I'm sitting there eating the foods because I'm craving it. And so hormones and all the things, as I say, but I want to deal with it because I used to just put up with it. Oh, my body just reacts like that. I'll eat the food, not all of the time, but I'd eat the food, and I rarely eat it now. So when I do eat it, it feels even worse. But because I've released the weight, it's not sitting the way that it used to, and I'm laughing. I'm like, okay, all right, this is the last time that we keep doing that. Do you know what I mean? I'm done. So yes, Jennifer. So I love it. So Jennifer, yours has gone up. And what would push it up to a 10? What would push it up to a 10? And what would push it up to an 11? And what would you need to do? What does an 11 feel like? And would you allow yourself to feel an 11? Right? So in the Spiritual Vision Board Challenge, I talk about that freedom and that freedom frequencies. We do the spiritual journey with me. What would make it feel like an 11? What would make your vibration feel like an 11? And we want to bask in that and do all the things on a daily basis to vibrate an 11. It's okay to vibrate at an 11. It's okay. It's okay to vibrate at a 1, 2, right? And so what I want you guys to do is to bask in, have you got any 11s this week? And make a commitment to do the things that would push your vibration, your soul's intention up to an 11. And when we do the vision board challenge again, you'll see how our rating is, because in order for your vision to manifest, you want to be vibrating at the highest frequency. Not every day, all day, all necessarily, but you want to be vibrating. If not, you're blocking the manifestation of what it is that you want to experience on your vision board, right? So cool. All right, let me pull this second card. I think I've just dropped it. Did you see it drop? Probably did. I know what it was. Okay, I can't see it. I'm not going to look for it. Okay, it's this card here. It's EC's. So this is magic. Listen to this. So every day on the Soul Legacy TV, I get a card to share with you, and just it's beautiful to raise your vibration. So write this down in your spiritual journal. Magic manifesting. Let's see how much magic manifesting we could do over this next week, and note it down in your spiritual journal. How much have you done? What came into your awareness throughout this week? Use these as a spiritual journal prompts as I'm asking questions. I know I ask a lot, and I know that you can't type all the time, but what did you manifest this week that felt magical? Before you even knew what manifesting was, you would have manifested, but what feels magical? For me, I was explaining about the, being in the band conversion. That was magic manifesting for me. What instant, so you can say to the universe, thank you for that experience. Oh, yeah, beautiful card. I know I don't know where did I just put it. It's a nice card. I think I showed it anyway. Jennifer says, I got good sleep last night. Weather is nice so far. It's flowing so nicely. Love it. So the good sleep, so whether the weather is good or not, yeah, so we don't want to be predicted. Our vibration doesn't want to be predicted by the weather, but sometimes it is. It feels like that, but it's that good sleep. So you put a ritual and a routine in place. So whatever you did last night, whatever you were thinking and whatever you were feeling, note that down in your spiritual journal so you can continue on that pattern. And that's that health freedom. All right, I love it. Magic manifesting. I know, right, Robin? So this card is your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. Stay focused, right? So this is spiritual freedom. Like literally, if you've been with me and you've seen on any of the episodes, any of my daily lives, every single card is so on point. I love it. I was guided to the keepers of the light, and I love it. Your dreams, visions, or goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. So can you write down in your spiritual journal evidence of that? Right, we're going to do gratitude, but can you write down any evidence of you seeing your magic manifesting for your dreams, your goals, and I can write down a ton. I'd be here all damn day, right? I would. And I'll talk about it on the gratitude. Jennifer says, watering in the cold weather is not fun for me. Yeah, I get it. So Jennifer, I know that you do watering as part of your work. However, if we relied on the weather to, so that's again, when we're on the spiritual vision board challenge, I'll share with you, like you have your vibration, you're connected to higher self, right? And so the visible world is here. And when we allow our vibration to be pushed and pulled by the visible world, we'd be miserable because there's so much going on in the world, in our immediate environment and in the world. We would be vibrating at a different frequency. So we would focus, instead of the weather to make us feel good, like you have that relationship with your plants, like no matter what. So like they're out in the cold and you have that relationship, you're able to nurture them through the cold. You'd focus on something different, and you'd focus on like, well, this is only like for a short period of time. And actually it's not that bad. It doesn't feel that cold. I could put on an extra layer. I'm gonna wrap up. It's like not wanting to get out of bed because it's cold, but your day is not going to start in the most high vibe way, rather than putting on like, so what I did for my environmental freedom, and that's part of your environmental freedom, like working in that. And if it's not fun for you, then it's having an alternative and seeing that the vision is, I don't have to do this in the long term. So I set my thermostat in my house for my heating to come on in the morning before I got out of bed, and did at 4:44 and did my 4:44 and did my spiritual journal. It's adjusting. So I know that it's not cool. And I know it makes you feel good, but yeah, bask in it anyway. Just my opinion, love. So Isis is a strong, smart, and focused Egyptian winged goddess. According to the legend, she was able to move from darkness to light and between the underworld, heaven and earth. For that reason, whenever she comes to us, she will help us move from the hell of your own fear into the heaven of your own love. I love, and so that's with the emotional scale, according to Abraham Hicks, the vibration of love is at the highest vibration, and the vibration of fear is at the lowest vibration. And so it's just that, it's vibration moving up the emotional scale. And if you don't know about the Abraham Hicks or another emotional scale, whatever, then check it out, because it's really helpful. She was also able to revive her lover from the dead. It says his name and I can't say it. And this powerful, I can't say that, story shows how she helped us revive an aspect of our life or a dream that we may have killed off with the fear or lack of belief. And so when I talked about the barn conversion, when I was in my twin flame union, we used to visualize it together. And it's like, I can visualize, he's like really good at visualizing. And then all circumstances didn't look like, oh, well, that's going to manifest anytime soon. And that lack of belief and that fear, and that was infecting me. I would say infecting me, not even affecting me, infecting me with that low vibration and that fear. And I'm like, I cannot manifest and do my best work in the world from that. I've got to trust. And so it's not like, oh, well, you have to just remove every relationship from in your world. But when you're laying down with someone and you're in close proximity, I don't know about you, but it's really super draining for me as an empath. And I had to make a decision of what is going to fuel my soul on a daily basis. So if you have that energy of fear and the dreams, like, when you have naysayers, I'm not saying he was a naysayer, he was so supportive and so loving and so kind for me, but just not putting himself in that situation. It's like just that fear, just fear. And when you vibrate at that and your dreams are killed off, it's like part of you dies inside. Like that part of you dies inside, and you know that you're here to express something in the world, and not being true to that, it causes, for me anyway, it causes disease and unsettlement in the body, in the mind, the soul, all the things. That lack of self-belief, it doesn't have to stay there. Self-belief, and for me, the self-belief comes from doing the thing, is what I say. Do the thing and it'll come. With her magical abilities, Isis or Isis will guide us to bring our dreams into reality. Absolutely. Like I said yesterday when I was talking, and on Thursday, it's like, well, I still have that belief. Why are you delusional? Maybe, but if you don't have that belief and you don't have anything to work on and have your eyes on your goal and you take it off and look at all the obstacles, guess what? It's never going to manifest anyway. That makes no sense. So Jennifer says, yes, the weather isn't that big of a deal, but helpful, not always wearing jackets or layers is so nice. Yeah, I love that. It is helpful. So the extended message, you are moving into a space where your dream reality is becoming your outward reality. I'm going to say that again, because that's what helps with the spiritual vision board challenge. That's why I'm here showing up for me and for you, right? And for the collective. The more of us that are awake and conscious and are intentional, the better our planet is, in my opinion. So you moving into a space where you are moving into a space where your dream is becoming your outward reality. There's so many of us that feel dejected and jaded and deflated and all the things. Like, I had this dream and I thought the law of attraction worked. Underneath the law of attraction is the law of vibration. What frequency are you emitting? You are responsible for your own frequency. And it's becoming your outward reality. If you're holding that vibration, it's coming. It is coming. Little bits. This is an extremely powerful time, and it's vital to keep focused on the highest good of all. You no longer want to relive your own history and/or feel unsupported. Absolutely. Acknowledging where you once were and how you have changed that situation around is a powerful focus of gratitude that will align you with universal abundance. I'm speaking it. The card I hadn't even, like, it's just beautiful. I'm living it. my spiritual journal, and I invite you to live it, live that life of more freedom. Thank you for being here with me. I really appreciate it. It's beautiful. It just drops. It just it's just such a beautiful vibration. Discipline and commitment are important now. Discipline. So I don't just speak for the sake of speaking. I talk a lot, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's an hour. But it's words that are just given to me for you. Discipline and commitment are important now. That's why we have the daily rituals and routines for your discipline and your commitment. And that's what I'm saying about me and my health. Bringing it into, no, Iona Mead is not perfect. No, Iona Mead is not saying she's perfect. I'm saying that I'm sharing this journey with you, and we can do it together. Consider that you are moving between worlds when you daydream or create visions and bring life-enhancing ideas into reality. Magic is manifesting all around you. This is exciting. Isn't that exciting? It's lovely. I love it. I'm going to go through the book that I was listening to today. Then we're going to do gratitude, and then we're going to wrap up with the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. Woo, woo. Thank you. I love the hour. It's like a power hour. It's like an ease, grace, and flow hour. It's intention. It's all the things. So the vision, the book that I had today, or listened to today, was the book that I've been listening to on Spiritual Freedom Saturday. Let me tell you what the book is called, because I didn't write it down. So it says it is your psychic pathway, listening to the guiding wisdom. No. Your psychic pathway, listening to the guiding wisdom of your soul. That's not how it, I don't think that is the actual title. It's by Sonia Shoket. I want to get the title right. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, there's the card. It was inside my journal. Let me get the name right. Your psychic pathway, guiding wisdom of your soul, by Sonia Shoket. So the guiding wisdom of your soul. So I was talking last week about her intuition and her journey and all the things. And so I listened to a little bit today, just a snippet as I was brushing my teeth and getting ready for the live. Robin says, we'll be back for the parts I missed. Love you. Love you, Robin. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'll be on your live today. It's Saturday. Thank you for spending your Saturday with me. So continuing on this book, just a little snippet. Can't remember what chapter it was. I think it was, I can't remember what chapter it was. I meant to note it down. So she says that Sonia Shoket is a teacher from Hay House, if you're familiar with Hay House. And she's a Hay House author, I believe, but she's one of the teachers on the Hay House. That's why I found her. And she was talking about her mother and her mother going through the war. And last week she was talking about, well, I was listening to the part where in the book where she was sharing about her guidance and the relationship that she'd manifested. She was following her intuition to manifest the guy of her dreams. He was a soldier, and she's like, this guy, I feel like he's going to be my boyfriend, and it ended up being true. Sonia Shoket's father, and she told the story of that. And then in this part of the book, she says that her mom was a real role model for her. And I love that, because we're mothers, right? And so if you're not a mother, fair enough. But like for the people that I work with, many of them are mums, and not everyone, but they're mothers, or obviously we've all got a mother, or they've got that nurturing spirit, right? And we support our loved ones in our family, what have you, and our future generation, right? So that mothering role, or grandmother, whatever role, and I'm a godmother as well, and an auntie, and that kind of like mama role as well. I've been talking about that. And she says that her mum has left a legacy with Sonia Shoket, absolutely, and we've benefited from that. And she says that in her household, and I love this, that, you know, we're taught the five senses, right? We're taught that even in school. Don't know if we're taught the sixth sense. I don't remember being taught there's a sixth sense in school. But she says in her house, they were taught the six senses. And we know that there's a sixth sense. Some people say seventh and eighth sense. I don't know. But six senses, and that sixth sense came first in her household. There were more households like that, to be guided, to listen to our soul guided, to be guided by a soul, be soul guided influencers, right? And so I love that. And so she does have influence. She is an influencer. So she's a soul guided influencer in my eyes. So she says that came first in her household, and they wouldn't say. And I'm looking down at my notes. They wouldn't say, "What did you hear?" or "What did you see?" or "What did you say?" "What did you think?" They'd say, "What do you feel? What are your vibes?" The code word for that was vibes. What are your vibes? That's what our mum used to say. So they were led in her family what would be a yes and what would be a no based on their own vibes. So when they would ask their mum, say, you know, should we see this boy? And it wasn't a yes or a no. Her mum would say, what are your vibes? She was the youngest. No, she was sibling. I think there were 7 of them, and she was in the middle. So she taught them. So she taught them to, relationships. What are your vibes? So the 7 freedoms: contribution freedom, health freedom, emotional freedom, environmental freedom, relationship freedom, spiritual freedom, and financial freedom. I invite you to do the same. What are your vibes? What are your vibration? Allow that. She has a book called Vibrational Living, which I didn't know, which I'll probably get on Audible. And she said that led her work. It led her to the food that she would eat, or say she would go. She craved attention, she said, when she was young, and she knew that if she was in tune with her vibes, she'd get more attention from her mum. So she really tuned in. So when the phone would ring, she'd be like, who's on the phone? And then she would go to the supermarket with her mum, and her mum would say, you know, which fruit is good today, which felt good, leaning into the vibes. And then she said that she started to use that in her work. People would ask for a reading and say, what are your vibes around this? I love it. The journey that we go through as we're young, as we're passed on. That's why I say launching, leading, and leaving our soul legacy, and doing it with ease, grace, and flow. How we launch our day, how we lead our day, and how we leave our day. That's our legacy. Our children are watching us. Our family are watching us. My daughter watches me. I didn't realize how much she watched me. Like, she watches me, and how I move in my day, right? It matters. Jennifer says, yes, I love that. What are your vibes? I ask, is it loving? And so, yeah. And so for me, for the intentional living, it's that what is draining you and what is fueling you. What is your soul funk and what is in your soul flow? So if it's in soul funk, it's addressing that. And so I love it. So I've already talked about, and I wrote some notes about the spiral. Spiraling up or spiraling down. What's going to have you spiral up? What's going to have you spiral down? Just noting that. And I talked about the insulin resistance. Let's do the gratitude, and then we'll do the bank 50K for today's challenge and wrap up, because I want to respect your time. So I know that you know, Jennifer, and so in Robin's world, it is on the Energy Healing TV podcast, it is brow chakra or third eye chakra healing Saturdays. So Robin also has the rating where you rate your how clear or blocked your chakras feel. And so her rating is between a 0 and 11. I don't know if she allows you to have a 0 either, but I don't know. But there's layers to clear. So there's layers to clear for our spiritual freedom, the experiences that you had. If you didn't have someone telling you follow your sixth sense, and they actually were a naysayer around it, blocking that sixth sense, and you might have the thoughts and the feelings and the beliefs that are running the show. And so when I looked at today, I was just intuitively guided to look up food cravings for EFT. I'm going to tap it out. I'm going to tap it out when I come off this, and I'm going to go on that journey and add that to my daily rituals and routines. I'm refined tapping. There was Gabby Bernstein and Brad Yates, a couple of others. Jessica Ortner as well. And I've got Jessica Ortner's book on tapping weight loss and body confidence. And now when I went to go listen to it again, I was like, I don't feel like I need it, but I feel like I will bring that into my health freedom on Tuesday with that lens, because I'd released it, like the body confidence and blah, blah, blah. So that really helped me from tapping. And so I know about the insulin resistance, so I'm going to go back and revisit that and bring that back into my awareness. And when I went onto the YouTube video, there was a YouTube ad, and I teach to create YouTube ads for your spiritual business. There was a YouTube ad. I tapped on cravings for food cravings, EFT for food cravings, and a YouTube ad came across the video before it got to play. And I know that you'll see YouTube ads, right? And sometimes it's like, skip the YouTube ad. But this one was saying, if you've got food cravings, this is probably why. And your brain, it stores it. I can't remember what something. I can't remember. She was saying that when you have these experiences, it leaves, and memories, it leaves dents in that part of the brain, whatever it was. And that sends signal to the amygdala. I can't even say that word either. Amygdala, I can't say it. Anyway, I'm not going to pretend I know all the things. And it triggers the response of the food craving. And I'm like, absolutely, I really resonate with that. So sometimes when you think, oh, it's a YouTube ad, I don't want to, if somebody gets a YouTube ad right the way that I teach it, when somebody's searching for a thing on YouTube as part of our spiritual business is getting our gifts out there, if somebody's searching, if you do the YouTube ads right, you'll get in front of the people that are searching for you when they are searching for you. I was searching for that, and that YouTube ad came up, and signed up for the training, and now I will get what I need. So I will go and do that. It's Saturday, so I'm not going to have this busy day in the office. I'm going to go and work on that. So that is what I'm going to do as part of my spiritual journaling. I wanted to share that guidance that we have. All right. So this is my gratitude stone. This is how I say gratitude. I was saying about Robin's energy healing TV. So this is a chakra crystal. I bought some chakra crystals when I did Robin's annual 7 days to unblock your chakras challenge. She does it. There's a self-study on there. If you haven't gone through it, then I invite you to have a look at it, to clear your chakras, clear the energy, all the things. And then Robin supports us every day with an energy healing lifestyle. And so I have my amethyst crystal to support me with my grounding and just feeling present with my third eye, all that clearing, all the stuff. So the amethyst crystal represents trust, intuition, and spirituality. So I usually do Ho'oponopono before I come on my live, and just hold my gratitude stone and my crystal. So for me, for intentional living, I want to do gratitude. And so I bring in gratitude every single day. Yeah, so I come every single day, and I know that you know this, Jennifer. So part of our spiritual journaling is being in alignment again with our vision, our values, and our vibration. And so it's Spiritual Freedom Saturday. So I've got my purple top on, and we want to bring all of the 7 freedoms that I've mentioned into our focus, right? And our intentions around that, and our goals around that, into every single day, and to acknowledge that the universe is showing us that soul path and seeing that things are manifesting, being grateful for where we are now, not just chasing after the next thing and the next thing and the next experience, being happy and grateful and appreciating, really basking in it. So I say, for my intentional living course, for my gratitude for the 7 freedoms, I say I'm happy, I'm grateful, and I appreciate. You want to be super happy about whatever it is. You want to really deeply appreciate it and just be happy. It's just a high vibe. So we want to use as our spiritual journal prompts, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate something, 7 things, at least 7 things every single day. Every single day, write them down in your spiritual journal as a spiritual journal prompt, or speak them out into existence. I call that soul speaking into existence. So sometimes I will write them down. I don't know if I have today. I don't think I have. Oh yeah, I have. And other times I'll just speak them out. And so for each of the 7 freedoms, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate something for contribution freedom, then health freedom, then emotional freedom, then environmental freedom, then relationship freedom, then spiritual freedom, then financial freedom. And if you notice, I'm spelling out the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency, the acronym for that. So we want to say, I'm happy. So can you think of things that you're happy and you're grateful and you appreciate in all of the 7 freedoms. Write that down in your spiritual journal. Obviously, as a spiritual journal prompt when we come off the live, excuse me, sometimes people say, oh, I don't know what to be grateful for. I don't have anything. And so what I invite you to do, if you can't think of anything, or when you're thinking, think of the things that you're grateful for in the past, think of things that you're grateful for in the present, and think of things that you're great, and definitely include all of these, right, in your daily, whichever day you want to do it on, or whatever freedom. Think of the things in your predicted future as well, because you're saying thanks in advance to the universe. That means you're vibrating at that frequency of your spiritual vision board, the intention that you set. So something in the past, something in the present, and something in the future. If you want to go deep, just choose one. But if you want to go even deeper, choose them all, or 2 of them, something in the past, something in the present, something, whatever. So do that. And so what I did, I just share really briefly something that I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate is just being guided to YouTube creators who share their knowledge in abundance. Like they're contributing. That's their contribution to me. So I'll focus on my contribution, but their contribution to me helps me make the contribution to you. So it's that knock-on effect. I'm super happy and grateful and appreciate that, like, so deeply. We can YouTube stuff, we can Google stuff, just so much knowledge in abundance of people are contributing to the collective. I love it. And so the high vibration is love, empowerment, knowledge, freedom. And knowledge, freedom, love, joy, right? So that knowledge is a high vibration for me. For my health, for the EFT, for just knowing that somebody actually, you know, was knowledgeable enough to create that and know our tapping in our meridian points. I love that I'm able to use that without drudging up like a bunch of stuff. And happy, grateful, and appreciate. The emotional freedom is just that trust and that guidance that I just love being at that vibrational frequency of knowledge. I just love it. For environment, I have everything around me that supports me. Like, everything's organized, everything's there, everything's just at the, I'm grateful for the online space. I'm grateful for my phone. I'm grateful. All these things just set up for me to just speak to you worldwide. I'm in the UK. Jennifer, I don't even know where you are. Where are you in the UK? I know that Robin's in Ohio, right? I don't even know where you are in the world. Like, you're able to reach people in different, from my home to your home. Super happy and super grateful about that. It's beautiful. For relationships, all the relationships, for our relationship, for the relationships that on a daily basis that are coming into my world, happy and grateful about that. For spirituality, the guidance, and for our soul to soul connection, just understanding that, I'm grateful for that knowledge that that awareness that I didn't have. And for finances, the freedom to tithe 10%. So I'm saying thanks in advance for that. So let's do the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge. Thank you for spending this time with me. So if you're new to me, I don't know what PA is. I'm in PA. What's PA? Okay, I'm not sure. In the US. So yeah, you're in the US. I'm in the UK. Sat here in my living room. It's just beautiful, and you're out there doing your work in the world. Like, it's beautiful. So the Soul Legacy Journal for the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge. I say the soul income game. So what we do is we bank 50K in 50 days vibrationally on this spiritual journal with me, right? This notebook, write down. And then in the visible world, in the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass, I share with you how you can speak to, serve, and sign up your high-paying one-to-many soul clients online on YouTube and build your spiritual business, like, for reals. It's beautiful. And so what we do is I give you I don't give you, the Soul Legacy Journal gives you £1,000, dollars, euros every single day to spend to make memories with your soul clients, your soul family, and your soul tribe. Whatever is on your spiritual vision board, bring that into now and experience it now. Do you see how everything just slots in together? And so spend it, make memories, spend it every single day if you want to. If to type 10% every single day. So I type to a worthy cause, I type to Cruise Bereavement Care. So that's $100, right? And that's a worthy cause for me, who supported me in my spiritual awakening. As my son made his transition, they came and they sat. Ruth, she came and sat on the couch. She's a dear friend now. And that was 7 years ago. And I'm so happy and I'm so grateful. And I really do appreciate everything. Like, just giving back is a beautiful vibration. So give back. You don't get to spend the money on bills. What I want you to do is come from the vibration that is all taken care of in your spiritual business. You've got it down. Feel the vibration of freedom. Go out and spend the money and make memories. Make it a game. Or Pennsylvania. Oh, really? I don't even know where Pennsylvania is. So I have a big, I'm going to put you on my map. I have a big map on my wall in my office. I'm not in my office, I'm in my living room. It's massive. And what I do is I pin my the Spiritual Biz YouTubers members on the map. And I did that when I had the Spiritual Biz YouTubers network. Like I said, I came off. It was a Facebook group which grew from in 12 weeks to 1,200 members, which I could have been growing it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I like YouTube more. I love the knowledge that YouTube brings. And I love the people that are learning, like you're here and you're learning. No matter where you are in the world, I can reach you if you've got an internet connection. So I'm going to have a look at where Pennsylvania is, because I don't know where it is. Pennsylvania. Okay, cool. I'm going to put a pin in the map. Thank you for joining me. I love it to see where we are. I haven't put Robin back in. I took all the pins out and I'm rebuilding it. So Pennsylvania and Ohio in the house. So for the Bank 50K 50 days, we spend it, we make memories. And on financial freedoms, so you spend it every day. And if you don't feel like you've got time to spend it, or you don't want to focus on money every single day, tithe 10% to a worthy cause. And hopefully, Jennifer, you've got a worthy cause in mind. And then on Sunday, I spend all of my vibrational money voucher. So if you want to make a bigger purchase or just go on a spending spree on Sunday, I will share what I spend my vibrational money on Sunday. So that's my Bank 50K in 50 days challenge vibrationally. And so in the physical world, I invite you to join the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass, Bank 50K in 50 days challenge. And that happens live on the last Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time. Neighbours with Robin and New York. Oh, are you? Okay, cool. I haven't heard of Pennsylvania. I've heard of Pennsylvania. I don't know where it is. So yeah, I have gifts for you. I have when you register for the masterclass, you'll get the free chapter of my book. It's called Spiritual Biz YouTubers, a soul guided influence compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. That is what we're doing here, that light work and that lifestyle balance with the 7 freedoms. I have my book on pre-order right now. It's on Amazon. You can order it. It's released on the 6th of May, along with my co-author book series. If you have a spiritual awakening story to share and you want to be part of my co-author book series, it's a 7-year annual book series, then you can send an email to submissions at SoulLegacyAcademy.com. The link and information will be in the cards and in the description and in the pinned comments. And that is for my students. So I'm gifting a page to my students. For those of you who want to build a spiritual business online, build a spiritual YouTube channel, build an author and authority platform, write your own book, all the things. I have my book launch videos, which I'll leave again in the cards and in the description, the Spiritual Vision Board Challenge, and the #1 Spiritual Awakening Annual YouTube Summit, where I interview fellow spiritual YouTubers on their spiritual awakening story, on how they've gone through their ascension. And we have the Spiritual Ascension After Show Party and the Spiritual Alchemy Giveaway. And that season runs October through to April, 9 a.m., 3 p.m., and 9 p.m. on the 2 middle Wednesdays of the month. I call them Binge Watch Wednesdays. Again, if you go to the Soul Legacy TV, you'll see the playlist and you'll click get notified and you'll get notified. And you can come and join me on that. Jennifer says, LOL, of course, Waldorf School, thank you, beautiful. Oh yeah, you did say You did say, yeah. And I said that I would look through. I'm just writing it down. Perfect. All right, so that is it for this spiritual journal with me, the Spiritual Freedom Saturday. I love it. Thank you for spending this time with me, Jennifer. Thank you, Robin, for coming back on the replay. If you're watching, then please do share this out. Help me get the message out. Help me raise the vibration or frequency of other light workers in the world with the 7 Freedoms frequency. I love you. I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Big love.